Are we actually starting?
No,
Is this us?
It might be.
All right.
I don't know.
That was fine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Out of Memory. I'm AJ Hamilton.
And I'm Christopher Hampson. For those of you who are new, Out of Memory is a podcast where we talk about our memories or anything from our past that we enjoyed or affected us on a molecular level, and revisit them today to see if they're worth keeping in our memories or if they're total crap. So this is Out of Memory.
This is Out of Memory. Welcome. Everybody.
Welcome.
Hey. And on this episode, we are going to be talking about those little tiny monsters you keep in your pocket. Pokemon.
No. I was going to say, let's leave it at that. You know, not all of them were very tiny.
No, they weren't, but you could still keep them in your pocket. They all somehow fit in those tiny 3-inch diameter orbs called Pokeballs.
Yeah, physics and energy and matter just don't apply, I guess, in the world of Pokemon.
It was kind of magical. But I don't... I was always questioning if those were actual real animals out in the wild or if it was just some sort of weird dystopian future where, I don't know, we had digital animals all over the place. Who the hell knew? Is that how that functioned?
Yeah, it's kind of
But digital things could hurt you? I don't know.
Digital things can hurt you. You ever heard of identity theft? It's a real thing.
Damn you,
There's
Equifax.
definitely somebody out there trying to catch them all.
Well, they got about half of them in America right now.
Just blame Equifax.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Because of the fox? No.
Well, yeah, exactly. And also that they got hacked. Did you heard about that, right?
No.
You heard about the London storm, but you didn't hear about Equifax stealing or getting hacked and having somebody steal all of our social security numbers. We're all gonna die, man. We're all Pokemon right now, and there's hackers out there just searching for us, searching us down, hunting us down,
hunting us down for our Pokeballs.
That's right. Hey, let's jump into the episode instead of it being so heavy.
Podcast.
Yeah, I guess so.
So specifically, we're doing Pokemon at the furthest reaches of our memory. So
yeah,
particularly
from our childhood.
Yeah, from our children, if our children were us.
Yeah.
Specifically, the show once it first launched in the United States,
yep.
as well as the simultaneous release of the red and blue version in America.
That's right. The red and blue version came out in 95, I believe, and it was created by, I'm going to try this, Satoshi Tajiri, and by the Nintendo Gaming Corporation. And
specifically the company Game Freaks.
Game Freaks, that's right. And also, it was strictly on Game Boy at the time. Which was interesting because I didn't have a Game Boy. I had already by the time that came out, just for it, I purchased a Game Boy Color. But I had played your original Game Boy. I never had an original Game Boy on my own. Yeah, thank you, by the way. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that Game Boy lasted longer, I think, than any cell phone that I've ever owned.
Jesus, what a brick.
I want to say that I probably bought that thing, the original Game Boy, probably in the first year or two that it came out, so it was around 1990 in America.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. It was also pretty awful.
There was nothing really, I mean, God, it was that much better than Atari, which I did have. I did have an Atari.
Yeah, but you couldn't carry around Atari in your pocket or
you didn't have big enough.
Sneak to the bathroom to play it.
You didn't have big enough pockets then, my friend.
I did. I didn't buy Jinko jeans to stuff my Atari and television inside of. But the original Game Boy was cool.
It was for the time.
It was. Yeah. It was gigantic. Mm-hmm. It sucked down 4 AA batteries.
Oh, God.
There was no tomorrow. Probably contributed to the world's landfill on its own. I'm sure that it registers just the battery consumption there.
It's one of the smaller islands off of Trash Island.
Yeah,
It's a
It was the
vacation
first,
spot. What's that?
When I first got Game Boy, it was the first time I'd ever seen earbuds instead of like regular
Over
like,
the
earphones
head,
that you-
yeah.
like- yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they were color coded for left and right.
They don't do that anymore.
They don't, but I really could use that, especially the ones that are kind of contour to the shape that your ear is supposed to
Right,
be.
because if you put them in wrong, it hurts like hell after a couple minutes. You're like,
Well, it's hard to hear also when you
That-
put them in the wrong
that's
way.
very
It's
true.
So much blood.
just draining out of your head. Well, what were the first couple of games that you had on that? Did you have Dr. Mario and like what else was on the original Game Boy?
So I want to say by the time that it made it over to the United States, there was probably like 20 games as launch titles for the U.S. Specifically, though, I remember tricking my dad. Not really tricking it, but it was kind of like it was a mixture between deception and naivete.
And
Where I convinced him to buy me Super Mario Land because I'd seen it. I'd seen a friend play it, and it was a pretty badass game. So he bought it for me, and then like we got back in the car and we're driving away, and I open it up, and it's just a cartridge. Like there's no Game Boy in the game box. So and I want to say like the game was not cheap, probably for the day that it was purchased. I have no idea how much it was, but it was probably like $40, which is the equivalent today of like $170.
pretty much.
If my math is right.
Inflation.
But he did feel obligated to get the Game Boy for me. I don't know if I got it right away, but he finally did get it for me. And I got a couple other games, maybe for around Christmas at that time. Double Dragon and Ninja Turtles. And then I got Dr. Mario, which I was very disappointed with. It just wasn't as cool as the other ones.
No.
But the original Game Boy, it had this hum to it, especially if you were trying to play it without your parents knowing you turned the sound all the way down. It would hum like a fish tank.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, you might have even been able to hear it like in the same room as somebody playing it with the sound.
Oh, jeez.
And I have to imagine you getting the Game Boy Color. They had come so far in that, what was it, 10 or 12 years that it was probably much more efficient, just all around a better unit to play games on.
I mean, it was probably, I mean, like you said, the Game Boy Color you could actually stick in your pocket. I don't actually think that you could fit a Game Boy, original Game Boy, in your pocket unless you had really stretched out those jeans. It was cool because it was so much smaller, more compact. The screen, they hadn't really done much in the video games to feature the color aspect of it, especially with what's it called, with Pokemon. What are we talking about? Pokemon. It was still just the sort of 2 or 3 color graphics, and it, with a sheen, kind of. There was a little bit of different coloring. You know, yeah,
I remember that because nothing was backlit.
No, God, no.
Back in that
Why
day.
would you? Of course not, because you're working with the parents, not allowing us to play video games at night under our covers.
Nintendo always does a fascinating thing with, especially their handhelds, where they'll come out with a version of it, and usually in like a crap color, and then they'll come out with a different color of like the casing for it. Then they'll come out with a much better version of the unit itself, and then they'll come out with the next generation, which is back to kind of being horrible. And the Game Boy has a good example of this. Yeah, pretty much. Like I think right before Game Boy Color came out, Game Boy Pocket was
those were even tinier.
like 96.
Oh no, those
They were thinner and more energy efficient, where it used AAA batteries. But they also switched it from being a dot matrix screen to a true like black and white monochromatic
interesting
screen. So it was sharper with a bigger screen, And then they came out with Game Boy Color, and they went back to a smaller screen that was much harder to see because, like you said, it was kind of like the coloring was more like a sheen than like it actually being like true.
Like it was vibrancy. The first bits of Technicolor where they just like dropped paint on top of black and white movies. You know, that was pretty much it. I mean, they had like the launch things were like Bomberman, I think, and like Tetris, so you could actually see that the pieces were different colors. But that wasn't, that wasn't much.
Or they gave it that weird like bubble to the face of it, so it like stuck out more, so you could tell.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes, but yeah, I mean, could you still play the Game Boy Color cartridges on the old Game Boys? No, you couldn't.
No, they were backwards compatible, but no, you couldn't shove them in there. Even if it was totally like they took a black and white game and just kind of like slapped some color on it.
Of course. I mean, like I said, I didn't have a Game Boy before, so I got the Game Boy Color, and I remember that the only one at the store was the purple one. And I might, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's that crap color like, they launched with. So later on, you feel crappy about it when the good colors come out.
Exactly. Come on. There. I mean, I think they came out with a lime green one and yellow one for when Pokemon Yellow came out or something like that. But yeah, the automatic purple one. That was the title. Automatic purple. No, that was the clear one, the transparent purple plastic.
Oh
yeah,
God,
yeah.
Right.
I didn't get that cool one that you could see the internal pieces doing nothing. They absolutely did nothing. There was no reason for that.
It destroyed the magic.
Wait, I thought there was just magic inside of this box. There's pieces of computers and stuff in this. Ugh, never again. Mm-hmm.
So, being that this wasn't backlit, did you have any of that like crap accessory to like slap on it, like the magnifying glass with the lights on
not.
It that didn't really properly illuminate
absolutely
it?
Not. Like you were saying, you sort of tricked / persuaded your father to buy you you earned it. I sort of tricked my dad into buying both the red and the blue cartridge for Pokemon.
Why?
No, so I could get the other things, the other characters.
So how did you do that though? Did you like play one all the way through and then you like went back and played the other one, or did you
it was almost simultaneous, which is horrible because I was wasting double the amount of time that I could have been improving myself in any other way. But I did learn all.
Yeah.
Well,
look where you are today.
Fair enough. I'm doing great. I got a podcast with my buddy. I'm living with 3 roommates in the backyard of a house. It's going great. It's going good. But
nice.
Hey,
well, cheers to that.
Oh yeah. What are you drinking today, Mr. Christopher?
I'm having myself a Rogue 7-hop IPA, which is quite tasty, and it's not nearly as bitter as I thought it was going to be.
Well, in honor of the country of Japan, where Game Boy and Pokemon come from, I was thinking of having some sake. That seems just as a theme, but I didn't have any, so I went with tequila. So, yeah, right.
Close enough.
I mean, they are from different countries. So from this country,
they're completely different things. Except they have a similar effect. I think that's it.
Get me drunk. That's why we do this.
Same kind of tax or something. I don't know how governments work, but government is just an organized.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me started. Don't get me started on the shadow governments within shadow governments. Come on.
Those aren't they the light governments?
They're the negative governments. All right, so Pokemon. We really have not even talked about
Pokemon.
These little monsters, which, I mean, mainly most of them weren't really monsters. They were just sort of derivative of animals that we see in our everyday lives.
Yeah, let's just call
Bad
them
animals.
bad
But
animals.
those were the only
bad
animals in this world. So do you think that they ate them?
No, I
Okay.
no, you know what? I contest that because I feel like in the show, I have
Really?
seen other animals. Like I want to say that I have seen butterflies, dogs,
Other birds flying out of... Maybe.
other
Maybe.
birds. Yes. I'm pretty sure I've seen regular ass animals also in that show. I think.
Yeah, I mean, but there are. Well, now I've heard. I don't really keep up on Pokemon anymore, but I've heard that there's like 700 Pokemon now, and there are like different versions of like cow Pokemon and like reindeer Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I think so. There's like a cow that stands up and shoots you with its udders, or maybe that was a nightmare. After I went to Five Guys the other day, but or Fat Burger. Why? I don't know. Why'd you call it that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning.
Please.
When was the first time you heard about Pokemon? Because Pokemon was kind of this tour de force that kind of just like came in and then everybody knew about it. But what was the first experience that you had with Pokemon?
I actually don't. It just seemed like a thing that everybody was talking about. You know, there wasn't the internet back in '95, or there was, but we weren't, surfing Facebook with all the
We
announcements.
weren't not downloading porn looking for information.
I mean, that's all I was using it for, really. I mean, I didn't check news sites or anything like that. God, I mean, I guess it would have been commercials. Pumping it up, being like, hey, you are worthless if you don't have this new Game Boy game. They were really pushing it. They wanted it to be the new thing. And, the old fidget spinner or something like that of the 90s. But yeah, I gotta believe it was a commercial where I was like, just, inundated with it and said, what could this possibly be? I must have it. So I think probably commercials, really crappy 90s commercials. And I was like, hey, Toys R Us and step on it, sir. And that was my dad who was sitting in the, at the front seat of the limo. And I clapped and he took me there.
That's a pretty cushy sounding life.
Indeed. It wasn't a limo. It was a minivan, which I later drove myself as my first car. So it actually, I imagined it better than it was. What about you? How did you first hear about Pokemon?
Yeah, I have a very distinct memory of being at a soccer game because I was forced by my parents to play soccer.
Didn't have anything to do with that. You're British at heart, and you just needed to. It was in your blood.
Ollie, ollie, oi, oi, oi. Mank you. I
think it's man you. I don't know.
All right, fine.
Go ahead.
I like Mank better.
Mank.
I've heard the phrase if you're not a mank, you're a wank.
Ooh,
that's a real thing.
Never mind. Yeah, and if you're not a manky, you're wanky. Tying it back in.
You're gonna get beat up
to the Pokemon
soccer hooligans,
all the nerds.
Sorry, football hooligans.
Football.
So
go ahead.
My distinct memory was being at a soccer game, and somebody had their nicer Game Boy than what I had, and they were playing Pokemon on it, and everybody was gathered around. And to be honest, it was dumb looking. It was pretty much a I want to say it was a Charmeleon fighting like a Doug Trio.
Okay,
and as far as gameplay goes, there's really nothing exciting to see. It's like a shitty looking back drawing of a monster and a okay drawing of like a monster kind of far away, and then there's no action really happening between them. There might be like some shit that flies between them, like a fire, or they might shake or like wiggle or something.
They nudge towards each other, basically.
They gesture. There's a lot of gesturing. There's no violence, which makes it the perfect role-playing game for children.
For children, yeah.
But people were going ape shit about it.
Oh, yeah.
And like my teammates were talking to each other like, oh, do you have the red one? Do you have the blue one? And blah, blah, blah. I don't even know if like they knew what the difference between them was.
No.
Because you could pick the same freaking Pokemon to start with.
Exactly.
But then, like, I started to watch the show to at least understand what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah, the thing for me was when I really hadn't even seen it played until I got it, and when I got it, I was thinking, I wasn't a huge fan of strictly fighting games like Street Fighter and stuff like that. Not that I wasn't a fan of them, but it was a fun thing to do with your friends. But when I was at home, I wanted an adventure game. I wanted Link or something like that, Zelda, and an adventure thing to go on. But when I got it, I was like, oh, this is kind of an adventure, and there will be fighting in it. And then when I got into the fighting, I was like, This isn't fighting. This is just making a decision. This is just pushing a button. This isn't, because even if it was just button mashing, I would love button mashing. That's super fun. But yeah, it was surprising. But you were hooked, right? I mean, I knew I was hooked.
Yeah, even though like I really had no desire to catch them all, I definitely had desire to catch some of them that I wanted to have.
Okay, yeah.
And I think the game does a fair job of not only making it like pretty easy, like I honestly don't remember like losing a lot. But I mean, it was just like make the right choice in a battle, and then some of it was left up to chance. It was a pretty easy game. Yeah,
it was pretty easy, and it wasn't a compelling story. It wasn't like, there wasn't an arc. There wasn't like an overarching thing. It was just like, get all the Pokemon. Sometimes in towns you would have to battle somebody, or you'd keep hearing about this person that was looking for you, something like that. And there was always your rival. Do you remember the rival that you started out with that was Professor Oak's like nephew or some dumb thing?
Yeah, what did you name him?
Oh, God. I think it was Chris. I think it was you. Definitely.
You didn't name him something like stupid, like ass fart or something?
No, you know what?
Because that guy was such a douchebag.
I really hated a kid named Jeremy around that time. He was kind of a bully.
Was he dating the girl you liked or something?
No, he wasn't. He was like Danny Bonaducci. You remember Danny Bonaducci? He was like
he was in Sopranos.
I think he was, but he was also like he was in the Partridge Family originally, and he was such a little like yoked speed freak crazy person that he was exactly like that dude. And he was a tiny guy, but he shaved his head to be crazy, and he would just get in your face. And he was kind of like the Joker in Suicide Squad, where he was just bipolar.
The worst Joker.
Yeah, exactly. But
so he
just
had a lot of silver teeth.
Completely bipolar and silver teeth, exactly. And a redhead. So
not funny.
Yeah, and not funny.
Damn it! I hate that Joker so much.
Come on, Mark Hamill, just. Be 20 years younger and be him that. Yeah, exactly.
I would honestly, I'd be open to an older Joker.
I would be fascinated to see him in a live action thing. I think he would be great.
With a disgusting green beard and white makeup.
Exactly. No, so and a yellow or a green lightsaber. I think that'd be good. Anyway, So I named bad guy Jeremy, and he would follow you through. And opposed to you, even though you wanted specific ones, I, from a young age, have had a bit of a collector's personality.
Complex.
That's what I was looking for. Where, you know, if I'm gonna go start collecting a toy, like my dad started it off when I was a kid with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he got me on my 5th birthday. He got me Michelangelo. And then he was like, "There's 3 more," and I was like, "No, there's not just 3 more. There's so many more.
There's 1,000
yes
Ninja Turtle toys I need."
Exactly. And so that's continued on. And so this was a horribly addictive game where that's why I needed red and blue, was because I wasn't going to just settle for the ones in one or the other. I needed both of them. So that's what took up my life for a couple of years there. How long did you play for, do you think?
On the red and blue version, I played long enough to beat the game one time.
Okay.
So, honestly, my first playthrough,
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to guess, it was probably in between like 26 and 40 hours.
Okay.
I definitely did not get everything.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
But I made it through, and I got the ones that I kind of wanted. So
Sure.
I was fine with it.
I mean, there's... I remember taking it... were we in middle school then? I think
this was like the middle school to high school transition. So making it extra awkward to enter high school being really nerdy.
Oh yeah, and having that constantly in your backpack, making sure you had enough batteries that day, trading out, not playing basketball or hanging out with popular people during lunch. Instead, we would be standing on the basketball courts, getting hit by the basketball while we were trying to trade Pokemon back and forth.
Yes,
Yeah.
And specifically, what we were trying to do was figure out how to get Mew.
Yeah. Yes.
Which was this hidden Pokemon. And all that we could come up with was a glitch from the game that you could somehow catch called Missing No.
Missing No. Which was just essentially a glitch-looking Pokemon. It was like
it was just a bunch of crap. It was just like blocks of static.
Right.
You would have to surf along the coast of one island
That's right.
until like it popped up. And there was no function to it. It would just crash your Game Boy if you ever tried to battle with it. But you could catch it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a bad choice.
So 152 Pokemon actually back then.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking
Check
of Mew,
your bug list.
how did you get Mew? Do you remember?
Oh no, I
did
never
you?
got Mew. No.
Okay, so I'm
anti-Mew.
Oh, interesting. But you like Mewtwo? Or either
honestly,
one?
I don't know if I ever got Mewtwo.
I might have used one.
I might have used my Master Ball on one of the legendary birds instead.
That would make sense. Yeah, because there was only one Master Ball, right? Or you didn't...
and I think you had to choose between one of the 3 legendary birds or Mewtwo.
Right.
Because that was the only way you would catch one of those 4.
Right.
Which one did you choose?
I probably went with... What was the blue bird?
That was Articuno.
Articuno, yeah.
And the worst choice you could have made.
Why?
I don't know. It
Man.
just seems like, well, okay, you're gonna get an ice bird as opposed to a bird that's made of lightning or a bird that is always on fire.
Like Phoenix.
Yeah,
oh, you know what? I probably went with... I mean, my favorite color was green, so there was nothing correlating to that. So probably you might be right. It might have been not Zapdos. What's the
Moltres.
Moltres? Yeah, that's right. I probably went with that one. But in the end, I actually got all of them somehow. I think you know what it is?
Cheating.
Yeah. No, you restart the game, and then you like speed through it. And then you get get another Master Ball and get one of the...
Whoa. If you restart the game, you don't keep all your Pokemon, though.
No, but you could switch back and forth. You could trade all of your Pokemon to the other one.
What? Oh, yeah, because you had 2 cartridges.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
got it.
yeah. Sorry,
Okay, yeah. Sorry, not all of us were rich when we were.
I wasn't. I think
If
I
you had-
actually.
if you had Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, you were rich.
I'm pretty sure. Fair enough. I'm pretty sure I bought the Game Boy Color myself with like birthday money or something like that, and then the cartridges separately were bought for me. So you know what? Yes,
yeah, like
I
the rest
was
of the 1%.
incredibly rich. It's me and Richard Branson. Yeah. No, there was a thing where you could copy Pokemon, and that's actually how I got Mew. Eventually, was this?
It was risky though.
It
Very
was.
risky.
It was because
So how do
somebody
you copy Pokemon.
somebody could lose it. You would hook up the 2 games with the little USB thing, and I think that was even pre-USB. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that was actually called. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
it was
Yeah.
definitely.
Jesus. That was our first example of plug. Yeah, whatever. But one kid who had like a Japanese version of the game or something like that was like, "Oh yes, indeed, I've got Mew. You
Is
don't
that how
have,
he spoke?
You don't have Mew, are you, sir? My goodness, what a plebeian effort you have made."
Sound very Japanese.
No, well, he doesn't have to be Japanese to buy the Japanese game. That's racist. I'm pretty sure.
I'd say the Japanese people that I know are fairly humble. That guy sounds like an asshole.
Oh no, he was white. Yeah, he was an asshole nerd. I was just trying to make him sound mid-Atlantic, like he's. Oh yes, you don't have Mew. My goodness. Well, I suppose I'll stoop down to your level. Anyway,
You may have one of the 4 Mews I have.
no, but what you could do is you could plug it in, and as like in the last 10 seconds of the transfer, you would unplug one side or the other. I can't remember which it was, but that was then it would be in both of the games. And
yeah, it's almost as if
weird.
the animation that you saw on screen was quite literal of the data that was going back and forth, where
Yes.
it would first show one going to one Game Boy, and then you just unplug it before the other one goes to the other.
Right, yeah, pretty much. So fascinating stuff. I don't think I did that with a bunch of the. I think that's probably the only time I did that, because it wasn't so much risky. It just was frustrating if you didn't pull it out at the right time, which is what she said.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, just going back to starting the game,
Yeah.
which Pokemon did you choose? I think that's really the first big decision that you have to make.
That's
And
definitely
could be
telling,
some
yeah.
dividing lines between friends.
Ooh, well, don't take any offense to this. I'm pretty sure I started with Charmander.
Yeah. Okay. So you wanted to be cool looking, and you got Charmander because he's the cooler looking one. I started
you
with
go with?
Bulbasaur. With Bulbasaur.
Why?
Because strategically, he's the best one to start with.
Tell me why.
Okay, so the first gym you fight is Rock, and Rock is weak against Leaf. Then
Okay.
the second gym that you fight is Water. Water is weak against Leaf also. The third gym you fight is Electric, where Leaf is, or Grass, whatever it is strong against electricity. Also, I think after the third gym you learn Cut, which you can teach to Bulbasaur, and you can move through the game quicker. That's why. So shut up. And also, nobody uses their starting Pokemon past like full evolution anyway. They just ditch them anyway for something cooler that's later on in the game.
Oh, naturally. See, here's the thing. I am really bad at strategy in video games. Like I'm no good at Hitman. Like I'm not sneaky, first of all, but also I am no good at figuring out the different powers that you need to go against something else. I just like having the most powerful thing, and I thought Charmander to Charizard. Charizard looks like he can step
That's
on
what you put
anybody,
on your dating profile.
basically. No, I'm kind of if I were to be playing a strategy game like I don't know, Overwatch or something like that, I'm the tank. I'm the guy who just wants to shoot everybody, you know, and stomp on things. I am bad at being, I don't know, strategic, like I say. So
Let's say clumsy.
Yes, no, absolutely, I am clumsy. But yeah, that's I go for the cool thing, not the. I didn't know that there were certain things. I knew that water was probably better than fire. It could put out fire. I know
finger does not go in light socket. It hurt.
And why couldn't you start with that? Was the biggest tease of the cartoon
the light
show.
socket. This finger looks like it could go right in.
It looks like it. No, that was the biggest tease of the TV show. If you got the video game after the TV show came out, is that you got it and you were like, well, why can't I choose Pikachu? Are you kidding me? I don't want the other guys. I want Pikachu to start with.
Oh, that's why they came out with the yellow version for all the whiny babies who watched the show and wanted to start with Pikachu.
Years later, for God's sake, kept me in suspense and made me buy 3 cartridges. No, I actually didn't ever get the yellow one, because you can eventually get Pikachu pretty easily. Isn't he a wild Pokemon somewhere down the line?
I feel like you can get him in like the first forest that you go into, as long as you have Pokeballs.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. And
also
he's
Pikachu
fine.
is not very cute in the first game. He looks like a fat rat. It's just like if you took a rat and just filled it with air, that's what a Pikachu looks like.
Well, he's better than Rattata. He's kind of like a cuter version of the next thing. Raticate, thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, do you remember?
Which was a good Pokemon, which was a better Pokemon than any of the ones from the show.
Oh, he was. Yeah, that's true. Did they, what frustrated me about the show, and I know that they wanted it to run as long as possible.
It's still running.
No, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is, in the first couple of seasons, they did not encounter that many Pokemon. And I kept being like, I want them to keep you throughout the game. You experience quite a number of the Pokemon
all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Thanks, Weedle.
I can't walk 5 feet without catching a Metapod.
Yeah.
For God's sake, boring, stupid thing.
Damn it, Beedrill.
Do you remember how long he had the Metapod until it turned into Butterfree?
I want to say it was like 2 episodes. It really was not a long time.
No, maybe it was because we were watching it not live, but were they showing it like daily or weekly at that
honestly,
point?
Yeah, it felt like they just kind of dropped like a whole bunch of them in our laps once it launched, because it was like daytime TV.
Yeah,
I want to say it was on 5 times a week.
Yeah,
and they were all like different episodes. So like I think the first season was just readily available right away.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I binge watched that as much as you can binge watch it. Do you remember the songs at the end, or the raps at the end?
Yes, the Poke Raps.
Poke Raps.
Yes. It's a great way to sell in your product and make you buy the toy from Burger King.
Oh yeah,
which was also a huge deal.
The Burger King toys, man. Yeah.
I want to say that was the first time I saw like a Pokemon toy that was I could afford it.
Yeah, because strangely they didn't come out with a bunch of physical toys right at the beginning. It was just the video game and the cartoon and a bunch of other types of merchandise, but it wasn't little figures of them, were there?
I think it was all like counterfeit Chinese, like Chinatown versions of the Pokemon.
Right. Yeah.
Or you had to go to Japantown and pay a shitload of money to have like something official. But yeah, I feel like Burger King was the first one that really like capitalized on that. Probably around the release of the movie.
And were those like refresh my memory if you remember it better than me. Were those figures, or were they the weird fast food toys where they were like wind up somethings, or like they built something? What were they? Were they just the figures?
So it was definitely a mix of different things.
Okay.
Like some of them I want to say were stuffed.
Oh yeah.
And others were like hard toys that would either like light up or I don't know if any of them like had that like Happy Meal gimmick to them, like it shot out of a launcher.
Right, yeah.
Squirted water.
God,
I don't. Actually, you know what? No, absolutely some squirted water.
Of course
I do remember
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I look at I think they've almost outlawed fast food toys, or they just don't care about them anymore because they're not allowed to market to kids anymore. Because if I go through a drive-through and I just observe the advertisements for the kids' toys, they are shit compared to what we used to have.
God, I really just want a chicken nugget right now.
We can take a break for that.
Yeah, let's get some nuggets.
No, the one thing that I do remember about the BK toys, they also had this crazy ass, and this will put me in the 1% again. They had these full Pokeballs, right? And they weren't filled with a character. They were filled with a gold-plated collector card. And it was a weird thing. I'm pretty sure it was like $5 or $7 or something like that. Those extra things that your parent, you'd be like, yeah, I got the toy in the Happy Meal, but I also want that. It was like an upsell. Like some places had watches and shit like that. Well, I only got one, but it was the Pikachu one, and you press the button and it flips open. It's spring loaded, and it's got the little holder for the gold card in it. It wasn't an actual gold card where you could spend it on anything. It was.
Yeah, I really want to have that in my hands right now.
Mm-hmm. Next time I come up, I'll dig that out of my. I have such a huge toy chest. Of old things. By toy chest, I mean the original room that I grew up in that is maintained like I died at 14
he means that his
in a
pecs
car.
are made of plastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's
so you bring up a good point though, that there was also simultaneously to the show and the era of Red and Blue, there was this card game.
Yeah.
So did you participate then at all, or did you collect those?
Well, take the interesting thing is I am a collector, but I am not a good gamer. Like I said, I am not strategically inclined. I ended up collecting magic cards and then selling them in the lunchroom to all the nerds who would listen to me. I'm pretty sure you bought some.
I'm pretty sure I bought some.
Yeah, I mean, I was selling mana for 10 cents.
Go Blue Mana.
Yeah. But no, I'm pretty sure I collected them and put them in a binder somewhere. But I did not play it like Yu-Gi-Oh or any of those card games that they have out there. Did you play it?
No, I want to say in odd ways I received some Pokemon cards, like a friend that wanted me to play, or from a magazine or something. But no. The only thing that I remember from people that were big on the Pokemon cards was that Charizard was worth a lot of money.
Interesting. And
it never appealed to me.
Our local comic book shop in the place where we almost said it, in the place where we grew up.
Oh, we're not allowed to say that.
I don't know. Can we? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Shout out to Crush Comics.
Yeah, Crush Comics.
So there's actually
that place was great. Is great.
I go there with my daughter now.
Well,
to buy comics every once in a while, and I just found out that Crush Comics was purchased by somebody that we went to high school with.
No way. Mike is selling it?
It's already been sold.
It
was bought up by I won't name them, but a person we went to high school with, and her husband. And so far, they've been doing events. They did a great job with Batman Day recently, where they flipped it. They made it Harley Quinn Day.
Oh, cool.
And they had characters standing out front, and the cops would stop at the traffic light that's right out front, and they would scatter and hide. It was really funny.
Well, that's cool. That's good to hear. I know that Mike, the original owner, was. He was getting up in years. It makes sense that he would sell that, but that was a big part of my childhood, and I'm glad that it's going on to hopefully good hands. That's cool, but it
seems so.
Yeah,
it seems so far.
I actually, the last time I was in there, I bought your daughter Pokemon toys.
Yes,
so you're welcome.
Aware.
All 180 of them or whatever.
Many of them.
Because they're 2 millimeters long, and so you can get each one of them for 10 cents or something like that. But
do you mind using the standard system on this show, please?
Oh God, quarter inch.
Okay,
quarter inch-ish. Yeah, that's not even 2 millimeters. I don't even know how the conversion rate works. I don't even know why I use
We all know
millimeters.
there's just one system. I know.
They're tiny. Anyway, it would probably be like 2 centimeters, right? Anyway, you're welcome. I'm glad they're all under your feet and you're stepping on them in the middle of the night because I'm sure she scattered them everywhere.
I just take the ones that I want. All right,
Don't tell her.
To rein this back in a
Yes,
little
please.
bit. Okay, so the show.
Yeah.
What were your favorite parts and your least favorite parts of the show?
Least favorite part was Ash's voice.
Oh my god, no.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean, out of everyone, because you're following this person, you kind of want them to be, I mean, almost not even the voice. The whole character is unlikable because, I mean, for a while at least.
Such a whiny brat.
He's whiny and it just, I actually really liked Brock. He's steadfast. Yeah. He's stoic. He had a couple of as the series went on, he had these interesting character arcs, and he had Onyx, which was really cool. I really liked Onyx.
He had some badass Pokemon for sure,
right? And he was rock. He was solid. It made sense. I'm just describing exactly what they intended him to be. What the hell? Also, I actually really liked the variations of the voices of the Pokemon. I thought that they did a really good job of, even though that they were only speaking in one thing, they had character behind them. So it wasn't like they just got crappy voice actors to do them. If the Pokemon was a character within the episode and it had some sort of arc or something like that, there was real emotion behind the characters.
That, and I have to say, that was probably a choice that came in at the production of the show. Mm-hmm. Because through the game, I mean, it could go either way. I mean, you're teaching your Pokemon things.
Sure.
They seem like they listen to you. And the show comes around, they're like, fuck it. Don't have them have like an actual voice. Just have them say their name over and over again. Right. And that is such a strange thing to do.
Yeah.
And I have to, at this point, segue into Digimon, which is kind of the rival Pokemon franchise.
Right.
That arguably came out at the same time or was kind of a competitor in Japan and in the US as well. But in the show, Digimon, I mean, they talk, they have personalities, they say shit.
That was a fascinating show for the very fact that that it almost was the difference between the Transformers show and the Transformers movie. I know that we've been over this because with
wait, are you a Transformer?
Are you a Transformer? Are you Optimus Prime? You're Optimus Prime. Are you Mark Wahlberg?
Is this a Planet of the Apes?
But with Pokemon, other than what's this? You know, the main core personality Pokemon, they were sort of just set pieces if they were a bad guy, or a rival. With Digimon, they were actually characters with stakes and with personality. I'm just sort of
they could die. They could die in that show.
Absolutely.
Which I always like respected, and I feel like I invested a little bit more in Digimon than Pokemon, because Pokemon was a little more, I don't know, phoned in or Mickey Mouse.
I think we could absolutely. I think we could absolutely do an episode on Digimon, and also for you calling them Mickey Mouse.
Better show.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get sued. But how did Mickey Mouse turn into a synonym for being loosely constructed?
That's
an odd thing.
I learned that in art school.
Okay.
When you kind of like you Mickey Mouse something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means just like sell it in like its simplest form.
Yeah.
Or like kind of like you cheapen it just to sell more, but that's what it fucking is.
Mickey Mousing it out, yeah.
You're Mickey Mousing it.
That's fascinating. We could talk forever on that. But
sometimes I go out in the city, I get drunk, whip it out, boom, Mickey Mousing it. I don't know.
I think you're not allowed to do that, and
That was my Danny Bonaducci impression. I don't know.
You do it much more angrily. Anyway, no. What about the what other characters? What did you what was disappointing or incredibly impressive about the show for you?
Okay.
We're somewhere in the middle of that.
Ash was almost completely unlikable.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I definitely had a crush on Misty, which doesn't make sense because all of the main characters in that show are so androgynous. Mm-hmm. Like it's the most safe like show that possibly could have been in the 90s.
Listen, her hair looked like a female, so that was enough for me.
Yeah.
Right? Similar.
She was so bitchy. So bitchy.
God. Did she end up with Ash or Brock? Or anybody?
No, neither.
They were all... Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, Ash was unlikable, worst part. And super whiny.
Yeah.
Best part of the show, Pikachu, super lovable.
Yeah.
I wanted Pikachu to be real. I really did.
He's like a good version of an Ewok.
Yeah. Or just like a better cat.
Oh,
a cat that just does not hate you.
A cat that can, that would nuzzle up next to you, might shock you a little bit, but you'd rather have that than a cat walking away from you, sticking its tail up, being like, "This is my butthole." Yeah, no,
this is
absolutely.
All of my butthole. I grow lots of hair, but not on my butthole, so you can see it properly. Yeah, no, cats are assholes.
Feed me. I actually, I don't know if I liked him then, but I kind of love the slapstick of Team Rocket.
Oh, Team Rocket, yes.
Should we? I mean, what did you think? What did you think about him?
So, Team Rocket in the game is just a gang.
Yeah, they just show up randomly.
Yep. Randomly. I would also point out that in later versions of the game, as I remember it, you start to realize that Team Rocket or Team Aqua or Team whoever is opposing the main character is kind of right.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
Well, like maybe Team Rocket is a poor example because they're just trying to steal all the Pokemon. But like, I want to say in later iterations, there is definitely like Team liberate Pokemon from having to fight each other.
You mean PETA?
Yeah, pretty much. But if you look at the game like at face value, I mean, it's basically find animal, catch animal, brainwash it so it loves you, and then make it fight other animals.
And sometimes
until you're the best
almost
person
die.
who makes animals fight other animals.
So you're Michael Vick, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh God, I never thought about that. If that would have been fascinating to have it be be Team Rocket's motivation, but then it absolutely would have been that our main characters, our lovable fellas and lady, were the bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, that's horrible. But I mean, it's such a pervasive. God, I don't know how to even rationalize it now. That's horrible.
Yes, I mean, I think that you brought up a good word earlier on when you were describing Pokemon, where it was addicting, and even by today's standards, I will play the game with my daughter a little bit, or play Pokemon Go. I honest to God, like even like thinking back, like I don't know if these games were ever fun. Like they were definitely addicting, 100%.
It was something to do.
Hands down, it was addicting.
Yeah,
and you could be good at it or not so good at it. But I don't know if it was fun or not. I have no idea. But I was addicted to it at some point.
I mean, I think the collection itself was more the. I don't know. What do you get out of a? I think modern video games have a bit of an adrenaline rush. Right now, I'm playing Just Cause 3. That was the free game with PlayStation Plus last month or whatever, which is
Shout out to PlayStation.
yeah, which is
which
is definitely not our sponsor. Why am I even telling you this? But you get to do exciting things. But back then, it was more about the process. It was very much about the process and sort of just sitting there and waiting for one or the other result to happen. You won or the other guy won, and you couldn't really do anything about it. You could restore health and shit like that, but that was, it seems more like a freemium game now than anything.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I feel like we're almost ready to make a calling on this without even going back and checking if this was any good. How did this get indelibly written into our brains that we remember it this well?
Yeah, it's a fascinating social event. I feel like by a whim, it just happened to catch on by enough people to catch on to more people.
It's like when yo-yos made a comeback or whatever. It was like the 50s, then the 90s, then never again. But the 90s was like everybody
VR.
has to get them. Yeah. Oh yeah, VR. Remember the Nintendo VR thing, but it was all just red lines?
Oh, you're talking about Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy, right? Yeah, exactly.
For maybe 7 months, I owned a Virtual Boy.
I think that was the only place I played it.
It was it's hard to play. It's not good by any means.
Right.
But the stigma around it was always that it gave you cancer.
I mean, everything.
Okay,
does,
well, everything gives you cancer, but
yeah.
But I feel like that was maybe one of the biggest reasons why it didn't do very well.
Well, it was making eye cancer. Yeah, absolutely, and that's the rare one. Fair enough. There was also at the same time a little bit later was Pokemon Snap, and I actually thought that was going to be interesting because I was like, oh, we're finally going to get... and there was Pokemon Stadium or something like that where you could actually plug...
Yeah. Did you ever have Pokemon Stadium?
I did.
I never had a Nintendo 64.
I had a Nintendo 64, but I think I had so few games on it. The ones that I wanted, it didn't seem like the thing to spend money on because I think I was over... Pokemon by that time, and I was like, oh, that would have been cool to come out a long time ago, because I did want to fight with I did want to see them with a platform game where you could make them do moves. I wanted to be in control of the them spraying a water power or kicking or doing some defense, something like that.
Yeah.
That was, just hitting a button and making it do that.
They finally came out with a game like that just this year. And
really?
I can't remember what exactly it's called, but it's along the lines of Pokemon Stadium or Pokemon Fighter or something like that. Huh. But essentially, you pick the Pokemon you want, and then you can make them you are that Pokemon.
Well, I think you could now make with the insanity that was Pokemon Go at the beginning. Well, that was their 20th anniversary. If they had had a partner game to not just go with that, but with a platform, I think you could make a fascinating open world game, which essentially is what it was a little bit when it was on the Game Boy. But you could make a what am I trying to think of? GTA type game out of it, don't you think?
Yeah, totally. You get in the car with a Pokemon, you solicit its services, and then when it's done, you run it over.
Get all your money back, or your P line back. What were those? That wasn't even yen. There was some sort of money in original Pokemon. There was like a P with a line through it or something like that.
Oh,
Pokemoney.
Yeah,
Pokemoney essentially.
It was right, Pokedollars or something.
Oh God,
something stupid.
That's another one of those things where everything was. It's kind of like Smurfing, where everything is. There's a Poke Dollar and a Poke Gym and a Poke Nurse and a Poke whatever. Everything is Poke.
Where's your Poke Crapper? I gotta take a Poke dump.
Man,
that's just where my mind always goes.
You're funny.
Okay, so real quick, because I feel like we've covered quite a bit here.
I think we got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's probably enough.
We have a
probably enough.
Have a lock on this.
What was I know we've talked about the show, but what was
Sure.
your favorite and least favorite Pokemon?
Oh man.
What was the one that would come up and you'd just be like, God damn it?
Definitely one of the beginning ones. Mainly because you just see them all the time, like a Pidgey or something like that. I was especially. I mean that came up when I played Pokemon Go for 15 minutes. I was like, why are there just Pidgeys and Rattatas and stuff
So
like
many
that?
Pidgeys.
So many Pidgeys, just annoying as hell. And you're like, why am I doing this? I don't want a powerful Pidgeotto or whatever it is. I just want to catch it and evolve it and be done. That was probably my least favorite. There was the whatever that one was. I can't even remember. It was the one in blackface.
Oh,
do you remember?
talking about Jinx?
Jinx, that's right. I mean that just on
That,
principle
yes.
alone is pretty bad.
Leftover Super Japan racism.
Yeah, just a
blackface.
little bit, you know.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I actually really liked the ghost ones.
Yeah.
I liked
they're pretty cool.
Haunter, the guy with the floating hands. That was super fun.
I like Ghastly except for his voice. Sounds really stupid.
Ghastly, wasn't it?
Ghastly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had a lisp or something like that. Also, I loved Onyx.
Lisps are not scary. Yeah, like what?
The first episode with the ghost Pokemon was actually kind of scary because you didn't know what they were. And they were like, yeah, a ghost is haunting us. And then you're like, oh. Yeah.
Honestly, to me, that episode is very confusing.
It is.
So there's real ghosts here, ghost Pokemon. It's like, do you not know about ghost Pokemon? Or when people die, do they become ghost Pokemon?
Right? Where did those come from? What?
Can you fucking tell me? Also, where are the churches? Like, what do you guys believe in? Is there no God?
There's a
I don't
Poke
understand.
Church.
Yeah.
Just down the street. Yeah.
Poke Jesus.
Poke Jesus. I'm looking at the. I actually pulled up a picture of all of them, and
all of them.
I don't know. Yeah, ghosts. Ghosts are probably my favorite. Oh, also the Abra and Kadabra and Alakazam. That was probably one of my favorites to pursue. Probably.
Okay.
What about you?
Favorite just from playing the games and watching the show, Pikachu.
Okay,
I definitely
yeah.
got sucked into just like I loved Pikachu. They did a great job.
Good marketing.
I didn't evolve
folks.
it. I souped it up, and I fought the final four. Who do you fight? Is it the final four?
See, that's something we'll have to look up when we're researching this shit.
Something on Victory Road. The something four.
I live on Victory Road.
Love Pikachu. Hated any Pokemon that did not evolve. It almost seemed like
what's the use? Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Well, but there was cool ones that still didn't evolve, like the Genghis Khan or even Onyx, didn't evolve.
Lickitung.
It's like what's the point of training it up? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I want to see this thing get better and better and different. I want it to be more badass than a Lickitung.
Well, and that was kind of the cool thing. And this doesn't have to be the Digimon is better than Pokemon episode,
but it is.
But it is. With the Digimon, they were always going back to their original form to just live, and then they could bump up to each form, so you would never not be able to see those forms. That was the cool thing about the episodes. They were kind of Power Ranger-y in that way. It's like, why not just go all the way up to your strongest thing to just squash the bad guy? But still, it was like, oh my god, how there's another evolution? That's really cool.
Yeah. So, but I feel like in Pokemon there really wasn't that mystery.
No,
I don't know. I feel like pretty quickly it was made clear like what could evolve and what could not evolve.
Yeah, and
thanks Pokedex, you spoiler motherfucker.
I can see that there's no next slot. I know.
Thanks flowchart.
And then and then there would be like what was it? Doug.
Are you talking about
Doug
the
Trio?
bird? Oh,
Doug, there was Diglett, and then it would just triple, and then it was Doug Trio,
yeah.
and that was
pretty
it.
much.
It was like,
Yeah.
wait, that's not an evolution. That's just getting two of your friends together.
That's just lazy.
I don't-
And
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of these, how many of these Pokemon do you believe were like really kind of lazily constructed?
Well, just by
What
the
is
names.
the laziest? What's the laziest one that you've seen?
Mankey?
It's just like
It's a monkey,
yeah.
for God's sake.
Mankey's pretty fucking worthless as far as design.
I mean,
goes.
there was the ooze ones, the Grimer,
I those are kind of cool. Those are kind of cool.
but it's Grime. It's a Grimer.
Yeah. How about but Rattata? Apart from the name, is a mouse. That's it. It's just a regular ass mouse.
They just added
That's
a
all.
bunch of words after rat,
Yeah,
letters after rat. Yeah.
pretty much.
I liked the Firo name. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool.
But it looks real stupid.
It's real stupid. Yeah.
He's got a big old goosey neck.
Yeah. It's like a what are those? A vulture. It's a vulture sitting out there. That's not going to fight. That's going to wait until the other ones are dead to just come on in and eat them.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
we've covered quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
We're gonna go re-experience
Yay.
Pokemon from our childhood, the show, the game.
Yeah.
And also, just for contrast, gonna check out the newer shows and the newer games.
Yeah,
And then,
just to
come back. Yeah.
just to give a little bit, see what's happened in 20 freaking years. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Screw it.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. See you in a bit.
We'll be right back after this.
All right.
Out of memory.
All right, and we are back with our Pokemon episode.
So
How
many
was-
Pokeballs.
Oh my god. I have two at least.
Do you really?
No, just two balls.
Oh, well, very
You
good.
know. Yeah. Thank you. Educating people on biology. That's what we do here.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
the power that's inside.
Yay!
So let's start with the show. Old original Pokemon series.
Yeah.
English dub, I imagine.
English dub,
What-
absolutely. Yeah.
What did you think?
Yikes. I have some notes. I watched that. God, 10 just seems a little bit young because for a hunting license, I'm finding out that this is. I mean, it's essentially them putting him out into the world, and this is if you really think about this world. And I guess you're not supposed to because it's all bright colors and fun. This is a horrifying world full of dangerous extinction level Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like these are mutant animals who could. It doesn't make any sense why people aren't in like domes in their little towns protecting themselves from these horrifying creatures.
yeah. I want to say there was even an early episode where they tried to explain like how Pokemon came to be on Earth, and I think
Mm-hmm.
they alluded to they came from like a spaceship or something like that. Maybe it was just one type of Pokemon, but I don't know.
No, I think I don't know. But they clearly killed all the regular Pokemon or regular animals everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
It was a very invasive species. Oh.
They were apex predators.
No, I'd say that stood out to me too. Where it did not feel as magical as I had remembered it. Where a lot of issues were very apparent, like animal abuse,
yes.
poaching,
Right.
just the need to catch them all. I don't understand that at all.
Everyone is being. I mean, they're all emulating just the nerds who are playing this video game, who have the urge to just collect everything, like we were talking about before. That was definitely me.
It's definitely forward-facing consumerism.
Yeah.
With a little bit of like slave master mentality, because really
Yeah.
there's nothing that any of the heroes do or any of like the well-respected Pokemon trainers in the show do.
Yeah.
I would say that actually makes them a a better person or a stronger trainer besides beating the shit out of their Pokemon until they are actually weathered enough to beat the crap out of other animals on command.
Yeah. No, I thought it was. If you remember the episode where he gets Pikachu and Pikachu refuses to be in the ball, and then he rescues him from Spearows, and then the Spearows come and attack, and then he's like protecting Pikachu, and then Pikachu jumps up and electrocutes all of them, and then he takes him to a Poke Center for help, a Poke Hospital. The only reason, I mean, I don't understand why Pikachu even follows Ash.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like him, is he still like attached to that ball? There's really, you're right. You don't, just the fact that he's like, okay, you don't have to hang out in the ball means that he's still making him subservient. He's still fighting for him, but he's sort of, okay, now Pikachu is on his team rather than, I think that's what they tried to do in that situation. And everybody, all of his captured Pokemon eventually become like really trusted friends-ish, because they can't really have conversations.
Let's say that this is a well-written show.
Very much so.
I mean, but it's not.
No.
I'd say that's the thing that kind of shows that maybe Ash is different than other trainers. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why he's kind of like the chosen one.
But do you think he's really the chosen one? Like
he's not. He's awful.
He's just a nerd looking for the same thing that thousands of other people have been doing in this universe.
I can't
that
even
is
call
centered
him
around Pokemon.
I can't even call him a nerd. I could say he's kind of like a Pokemon fan, but he's
very much so.
He has very few redeeming qualities besides maybe tenacity. He's
tenacity and sometimes a little bit of empathy. Like
sometimes, but really not, because like you see Pikachu get the shit beaten out of him a lot, or any of his Pokemon, and he's kind of just like, well, hang in there, or like Charmander, like your tail could get wet by that water Pokemon, but hang in there, and if that happens, you're dead. There's few redeeming qualities about Ash, and that made it very hard to stomach it.
I don't know why I was so drawn to
Misty
the show.
Also, just like Misty is an awful person, and only with them because Ash originally ruined her bike.
Stole her bike.
Stole her bike, but then ruined it when the Spearows attacked, and then Pikachu electrocuted it.
Right? Yeah.
No, it's very specific crap.
and then they meet Brock, and he was honestly the. It's so funny that he's more appealing now. As a character to me as an adult, because he clearly was slightly older than them. Like if Ash is 10, he was probably in his teens at least.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Even Brock, like obviously he's the cooler of the characters, but is a very strange character. He's kind of spineless around women, and at the same time kind of lecherous, where he just falls in love with everybody. Which is funny, which is fine.
No, exactly. There's got to be a little horn dog in every group, right? There's got to be a Quagmire. No.
Yeah. So the show. My daughter, I introduced her to the show, and she enjoys it probably for the same reasons that I had enjoyed it when I was young. But I have to imagine a lot of that is because the awful things kind of go over her head, and that really I don't think she cares about the fighting. I think she cares that all the Pokemon are cute. Which I think is like the number one thing that this show has going for it, even though it's weird with Pokemon not talking. I don't know how you have that connection with just like them saying their name and just making cute noises. I mean,
it's the same exact thing as a Wookiee. It's the same as basically any. They are communicating in some way, and they clearly understand. A lot of them clearly understand English. Do you think so?
Yes. Yeah, I think they understand.
Yeah.
But if they understand it, I don't know why they can't speak it, why they can only say their names. That's the weird energy-based life form that they are from another planet.
Sure. Yeah. Weird. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, but it is the cuteness factor. It is the cuddly thing. I just watched. In addition to the original series, I started watching XYZ. Pokemon XYZ, and it starts out with this. Well, clearly I've missed a lot coming back from years and years of not keeping up with the show, because he has 3 or 4 new best friends and like a bunch of new Pokemon, and of course Pikachu's still there, but Ash seems to be like 12 maybe, even though years and years and years have gone by. But
it feels, because I've watched that show with my daughter also. It feels more like a reboot than anything.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
because Ash is kind of a completely different character. He's much more likable. Everybody is a hell of a lot nicer in that series.
Yeah. It's like he sort of grew up though. It's like he's maybe in his teens or something like that. Still kid, but wiser as the years have gone on. And then they're fighting this other team now. It's not Team Rocket anymore. It's Flare or something like that. And they're after this little thing that one of his
the little green sperm.
Yeah, the green thing that's called Z, but the little girl calls it Z or Squishy.
She calls it Squishy. Yeah.
Squishy. That's great. No, I was completely lost. It's great.
Yeah, especially if you come in that late in the series.
Yeah, of course.
So Pokemon XY is actually I don't know if the game came first or the manga came first, but I believe it's based off of the manga and derives a lot from that as far as the characters, but still kind of dropped Ash in there just because he's the recognizable character.
Of course.
But yeah, just that show compared to the old show, I mean, there's no contest. I would watch the new show totally with my daughter.
Absolutely. And
the action is better. The graphics are more likable.
Better.
Yeah.
It's
It's written in a better way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I agree. It's I mean, from the little that I saw, it's definitely more dynamic. You know, the old one was a bit more clunky and sort of adhering to just a regular kids show where it's like we have these goofy bad guys who follow us, and we're going to learn a lesson by the end of it, but we've got to be horrible people to have anywhere to go. You know,
in order to survive in the Pokemon's world, you got to be an awful piece of crap.
Yeah. But also you can't be too honorable. You can't be too caring, because then you've got to have somewhere to go emotionally, where it's like, hey, buddy, I can't believe you haven't been thinking about this. How about you reel in the abuse of your Pokemon?
Well, let's even take a step back. Let's say Pokemon came to the planet today.
Okay.
Like you said, they have like some like extinction level power.
Some of them, at least, yeah.
Yeah, they're dangerous. I would say every single one of them is absolutely dangerous. In order for humans to still be a dominant species and for our society to thrive, if the only way to do that was to be abusive to some of these and capture them and essentially
put them in their place,
essentially brainwash them. Once they go in that ball, I don't know what the fuck happens, but like they're instantly like they're okay with whatever's going on.
Yeah, none of them turn around and be like, "No, I'm not fighting for you, bro." Yeah, so, like a couple, but mainly for story reasons. Mostly, it's just like, all right, and also they're like genies. They just sit in there all day. They're energy beings that like shrink down, and do they have anything to do inside? Or
there's in some of the newer episodes, I'm pretty sure that it touches on like there's different levels of balls that you can get. You can get like a ball that is nicer on the inside, or it's like a hotel or a resort for them. Oh my god! Pretty sure that was a thing that I saw.
That's fascinating. Wow. I mean, it is. I mean, after 20, 50 seasons of this show, you know, you gotta go somewhere, I'm sure.
People are actually like starting to ask questions here. Yeah, poking holes in this sheet.
Well, jumping back, I mentioned the Team Rocket. And it's just Jesse, James, and Meowth mostly.
Sure.
As at the beginning of this, and I just wanted to. I'm going to read their motto real quick, and it's actually very weird when you think about it. All right. Prepare for trouble.
And make it double.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all people within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse.
James.
Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light.
Surrender now, we're prepared to fight.
Meow. That's right. So, okay, I want to point out to the second or third lines in there. To protect the world from devastation, to unite all peoples within our nation, to denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. This sounds like a cult, but also kind of a Men in Black type group that we don't necessarily understand. For a while,
I took that in a different way. I thought.
Where did you say?
Oh, I thought it sounded very, very governmental, like any kind of country that has
like an authoritarian. Yeah.
I just like. God, what do you call that when you have to keep expanding? Manifest Destiny. It sounds like Manifest Destiny. Like we will justify whatever we are doing and get everybody under our country by whatever means possible, and we will tell you that what to love, what not to love. Well, that's what it seemed like to me.
And I think that is absolutely. I think we agree. I think cults try to do that as well. They try to tell you what to see, tell you what to think, tell you what to interact with, and I just it is very governmental though. If we knew more about and I know that eventually you find out that they are very much in control of a lot of different things. They clone Mew to make Mewtwo. It's a fascinating organization that I think if this were made for adults, it would be so much darker and so much more post-apocalyptic and a very. I think if you look past the cuteness and the fighting and the ho-hum version of the video game or aspects of the video game, you see that this is much bigger than just that. There's so much more.
I want the edgy Christopher Nolan version of Pokemon.
Yes. Can we do that? Can we write him? He's very British.
He'll just he'll end the movie with a Pokeball spinning, and then he won't show you when it stops.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
Ooh, how did it end? No, but it's I really think that Team Rocket is a very interesting. Just listening to their credo it indicates that there is a lot more to that whole situation.
And they also have the only Pokemon that can speak English.
Yeah, what the hell? That's confusing too. But we're never going to answer that, I don't think.
No. What do you think about the games, the old games compared to the new ones?
Well, for the time, it was average. No, it was the first open world game that I had ever played. I mean, semi-open world. You couldn't move on without doing certain things, but you would walk around and stuff. And I liked the exploration and stuff. I watched a couple of. I played a little bit of it on an emulator, and I watched a little bit of speed runs. And wow, it is just a lot of reading.
It's so boring.
So boring.
It's incredible what we had stomached and what we had found to be intriguing and kind of cutting edge. And I have to believe that maybe that is in part because maybe we're transitioning into this like super cutting edge entertainment world that we live in now, where our imagination still made up for so much that was lacking in whatever we were experiencing.
There's a lot of truth to that. I mean, you're not just a little 2x2 pixel little fella walking around and these weren't just you were putting yourselves in those fights. There was stakes, there was potatoes. No, there were stakes to the fights, and I imagined the splash hitting the other guy, and totally. And now everything is. I mean, you look at the I looked at a Pokemon Moon playthrough,
Sure.
And my God, first of all, it's third person, and you run around in a fully realized CGI.
And it's in 3D.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because 3DS,
It's on 3DS,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. But you can ride a Tauros around to get from place to place, so it's a much bigger world, and it's not a world where you just walk straight through grass and can't see anything around you. You actually know where people and places are, and I guess the original ones were more about the adventure, were more about the story, being like, I must get to the next, and now we demand more from our stories and our visuals.
Totally. And I'm playing through Pokemon X with my daughter, and I mean, not only is her version way better than what I had played. There's definitely a kind of a shift in priorities where, like the show, there's more of a connection with empathy and the Pokemon, rather than just kind of the achievement and and snatching them all up, even though that still exists. But I mean, it was a no-brainer, and definitely I fell into the parent trap of how well marketed this thing is, because even though she doesn't care about necessarily going and battling whatever, but she does definitely want to be able to train and pet a Pikachu and have it love her and feed it little cute cupcakes and shit like that. It's the depth of the game was pretty astounding. Just all the mini games in it, the character interactions, so much deeper than what we had.
Yeah, but it is still it's not voiceover, is it? It's just script.
Well, that's another selling point for me, because I make my daughter read everything.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, that's and man, you're such a good dad, making her read and play game. She's learning all the time. Yes. Good stuff.
Yeah, you got it. Gotta make it fun.
Yeah.
I mean, for what we had back in the day, I don't know. It seems great. And doing some research on this and kind of re-experiencing it.
Yeah.
There were definitely secrets that I didn't know about the game.
Well,
things I had always questioned.
There wasn't really. I mean, there was the internet, but we didn't know that all of these answers. So many people have played it now.
There was the internet, but not all of us had access to it. I remember in a freshman year of high school, because we were playing through it. That's when it had come out. I had paid you money to make me a Pokedex, and all you'd done was go to a website and print it out, because I didn't have the internet.
Oh my God, I wasted so much of my dad's ink on that. But it was perfect. It was the way you got through the day. Yeah. I mean, there's so much on the internet now. I mean, I'm not saying anything original, but you can find any part of any video game and any secret or anything that you need to know about anywhere. You don't even have to play the damn game anymore. You can just watch it and enjoy it the same way that you would normally be cool. I won. Yay.
It's a weird sense of estranged and disconnected community, but it's there. Other people spend time to put this shit together.
And there's a shit ton of people watching it.
Yeah,
but what did you find?
Yeah, we had talked about what we had called Missing No, which is really just the glitch Pokemon that if you surf along this one coast, then you get this glitch, and if you catch it, it kind of fucks up your game.
Yeah.
But there are other things I didn't know about. Once you get the HM cut, not only can you cut down those weird sprouts to get to where you need to, but in the tall grass you could use cut, and you could cut the grass.
What?
Did you know that? Yeah, I didn't know
that.
And you could also use the fishing rod to fish in some statues.
Oh.
And there's Pokemon in them, which is really strange.
What? That's ridiculous.
Also, if you, depending on how you name your Pokemon, if you attach it to Pokemon Stadium, it would have different effects on your Pokemon.
Whoa.
So if you named Pikachu Pika, or Pikachu all lowercase, or Pikachu all caps, your Pikachu, I don't know that it would change the stats, but Pikachu would appear differently, either kind of a different color or a different size.
Mohawk.
No mohawk, but definitely
Damn
like
it! I
like
always wanted to see that.
a more like cuter, rounded, like chibi version, or kind of like a
Aw.
greener version.
What an odd secret.
Really,
That's-
really weird.
Yeah, good for the programmers spending the time on that.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I think that the biggest one also is Mew, and I've looked up a lot of like the tricks to get Mew,
Yeah.
which they're all fine, but they're super specific, and I have to believe that it was kind of like a Pokemon that just really was not supposed to be in the game, but you sure as hell can get it without like Game Genie or whatever crap that that we were used to back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Did you find anything on how to get Mew?
Yeah, there's a couple of good like WikiHows.
Nice.
And it looks like there's like 4 main methods. I've seen on speedruns some people doing weird, very specific tricks where they go out of bounds. They're able to go to a place that you would never be able to get to, like right before you board the ship, the cruise ship.
Oh, sure.
There's a way if you go from out of bounds where you're off the kind of path and you push that weird truck that's kind of just oddly placed there out of the way, and then you walk in the grass. There's you can get Mew. There's also some tricks with something about like one of the people in the gambling places and one of the characters that's called a youngster.
Those youngsters.
Yeah, the youngsters that you fight.
They know everything.
You can manipulate the game in such a way where if you follow such steps, you can make a Mew appear. Very, very odd. Never would have done it. Still haven't gone and done it.
No, I need to. I really think, even if I don't play all the way through, I'd love to boot my old Game Boy Color back up and play a little bit. It's always nostalgic and fun to do that.
Well, walk your ass down to Safeway and pay $8 for 4 AA batteries and slap them in that thing. Actually, maybe Game Boy Color only took 2.
I think it was. I think
Jesus.
it was more advanced. Sorry, buddy.
Damn it.
Oh
God.
Only spending.
I had all the best things when I was young.
My parents told me that they were getting me a video game, and I was like, oh my God, you are the first video game that I ever got. And I pictured when I was coming back home that they had gotten me a big video game from an arcade. Like a cabinet video game. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And then I got home and it was an Atari, and I was like, so what do I do with this? This makes no sense. They're just blocks on the... This is dumb. I eventually ended up loving it, especially the E.T. game. But
awful.
No, it's awful. It's
the worst.
The worst. It makes absolutely no sense. But back to Pokemon. Any other secrets or specialties that... I mean, I'm sure there are a million things that they've put
there's
in
so
the
many
subsequent stuff.
Especially when you go out of bounds or you start to glitch it. I mean, there's item glitches where you can manipulate the shopping experience and get infinite Master Balls. So you can go and catch all the legendary birds as well as
Jesus.
Mewtwo. Yeah,
Nice.
Look them up. That's what I recommend.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Thanks,
Internet.
Let's talk about the origin of Pokemon. I mean, just real quickly.
Sure.
So the creator, head creator, Satoshi Tajiri, he kind of had the development of Pokemon, and it was largely based and kind of derived from his love of collecting insects.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and in Japan, I think they have a lot more, unique insects than we do. Beetle collecting is a big thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you throw them at other people and they attack them for you?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Beetle fighting is actually a thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
All right.
man, a little insight onto maybe where that came from. There's also there's a really cute animated kind of history of how Pokemon was conceived by Satoshi Tajiri. Look it up. It's on YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it as well, and I endorse it. Speaking of endorsements, how much has this damn thing made?
Off of me?
Yes, off of you. How much have you personally shelled out?
God, more than I care to mention, probably.
Yeah.
Especially with having a kid of my own.
Of course.
I mean, she's going to be a Pokemon for Halloween.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she wants to be an Eevee, so we've been figuring out how to make that, because that's not a typical costume they stock in stores, of course.
Now, see, here's what you have to do. If you're a good dad, that's all I'm saying. If you're a good dad, you make an Eevee costume, and then you make a hood that you can pull over it that evolves it into one of the other ones.
Holy shit. Okay, that is amazing.
You're welcome.
That's amazing. Not doing it, don't have enough time. So I'll leave that to some other amazing dad.
She'll listen.
I'm being the amazing
this.
dad that's building the primary costume.
Fair enough. She'll listen to this years later, and she'll be like, why didn't you spend the time? I hate you, Dad. Yeah. I hate you. I need to go to therapy.
I'm sure I'm not just far off from teenage years, and I'll be hearing that anyway.
Yay.
But yeah, I mean, this obviously Pokemon is like a win for not only Game Freak, but also Nintendo in part. Certainly by Niantic, which I work in the same building as them.
Right. They're just rolling around in money, aren't they?
They pretty much
Go
are.
fellows.
I mean, I think they really lucked out. For anybody who knows that company, they came out with a really cool kind of like geocaching type competitive game called Ingress, where you pick either like an alien society or like humans, which is the Resistance, and you can go and you can set up like a generator, and the other team come and attack it, and you can equip it with different kinds of weapons. It's a very very unique kind of nerdy experience. But
a friend of mine tried to get me to play this.
People were really into that. Yeah,
I actually didn't have room on my phone at the time. So I'm just remembering this right now. Yeah. That's cool.
I had always questioned people that were really into it. I was like, so like, what if you go to like one of these enemy sites and like you see the guy that you know is like attacking you? Like, do you just have a fist fight,
in
or
real life? Yeah.
Go and take his phone and throw it in the fountain? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Pokemon as a brand has made a crap load of money. If I am to believe some of the stats that I've seen online, just from the Pokemon Red and Blue, or Red and Green as it was originally released in Japan.
Oh, right.
Made like $59 million.
Wow, that's way more than I would have thought. I thought it was $1 million, but that's not enough.
Yeah, well, that includes kind of that whole first generation. That's
right.
The Red and Blue, that's Yellow, and kind of the rehashing of those like Fire Red or Leaf Green that came out on Game Boy Advance. Of
course.
But that's a good chunk of change.
And I mean, how many different types of there's been Crystal, Moon and Sun, Ruby, Sapphire, Gold, Silver, Black and White,
Diamond, Pearl.
Yeah. Wait, has there been? Was that one of them? Okay. Well, I'm sure you.
And then they it seems like every like 5 years they kind of re-release it. That's like the Fire Red.
Right.
That's like the Heart Gold and something Silver, Soul Silver.
Okay. Yeah. Then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so total, just looking just primarily at the Game Boy games.
Right.
I mean, this has made like $219 million collectively, just from the main series.
Wow.
But as a brand, like total, like outside of that, the Nintendo 64 games, probably outside licensing. Again, if I'm to believe this stat, it's made from 1997 all the way to 2017, something like $86 billion.
$86 billion. That's like half all of the money. All of the money.
And yet it's still some of the money that like a government would spend every year on like military or something.
Oh, sure. But I would say that the Nintendo could be a fairly strong military force in the world.
It's true. Yes, if nothing else, as like a pacifier for the masses. And I think it's important to also mention just Pokemon Go, which has only been around for like
a year and a half
or so,
yeah,
if we're
yeah.
to count the beta months for testing.
Sure.
But just in 2016, made something like over $1 billion.
Whoa, that is some cash. But that's very much speaks to the freemium game playing that people are kind of addicted to, where they are willing to shell out money for Pokeballs and for expansions and for potions and stuff like that. My God, I do have to tell you that when we were all out at a sushi restaurant with your daughter, she was helping me rename some of my Pokemon, and I had a bunch of Eevees, and of course she loves Eevees.
She does,
and she renamed one of them Poop with like 7 O's, and I have kept that. I have not evolved it. I have not changed it. That is your daughter's Pokemon in my phone forever.
Yes, I have a couple of Poops also in my phone. Also, she'll take like some of the shit Pokemon like Muck or like Grabber. She'll rename him like Daddy.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I remember when she was real.
She's a funny one.
I remember when she was real little. I asked her. I said, "Point at the monkey," because she had a stuffed monkey or something like that, and she pointed at you. A lot of respect there. It's good. It's good. But wow, that they just keep rank. Do you think there is? Here's a question, and sort of a wrapping up question. How long? Because this is 20 years now that this has been going on. How long? There's over 800. I think there's 802 Pokemon currently, if I'm to believe it. This can go for indefinitely. This can go indefinitely. They can invent a new Ash. They can create more cute Pokemon just by smashing them together. I don't know. What do you think is the end game with them? Is it just going to be something in the zeitgeist that continues on for a long time? Because look at Mario. I mean, Mario has been around for 30 or 40 years now. It's hanging around, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, I think once a publicly shared company gets a hold of a franchise, I think they're going to run it as long as they can.
Yeah.
Nintendo obviously has done a good job of maintaining their 4, 5, 6 main brands through their systems.
Sure.
I don't see Pokemon going away. I mean, it's pretty strong right now. Kind of had its revival, so
sure.
And who knows? Maybe we'll get that gritty movie in 10 more years. I don't think it'll come now because I think it's kind of moved back into the main space.
Sure.
But if it follows like the Power Ranger path where it kind of falls away, and then they want to play on some nostalgia, maybe they'll bring it back.
I believe so. I believe that definitely. And my God, it's not like there's just one character. It's not like there's just Mario and his couple of friends. There's 800 things to focus on. You can market it all. Market every single one of them.
Yeah. Real quick. What was better when if you're remembering from memory?
Yes, please.
Digimon or Pokemon?
I would definitely say Digimon now. I mean, I haven't checked it out since, but I just saw it on Netflix, I think, and I want to look at it and see how much better. But there wasn't a video game, was there?
Oh, there was tons of video games.
Oh, were they better?
It was always, when at least like as I remembered, it was always debated like what came out first, Digimon or Pokemon.
Okay, gotcha.
But in doing some research, it looks like Pokemon probably came out first.
Okay.
But Digimon had kind of a different approach where they had more of a Tamagotchi style. Like they really embraced the pocket monster aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And I think it was bigger in Japan as a Tamagotchi style kind of.
All right. Yes, we could talk about Digimon for about as long as we talked about Pokemon, maybe longer.
For a few days, at least.
Absolutely. But let's get to scoring for Pokemon, not Digimon. We'll get to that in another episode. But
oh God, I can't wait to get to that.
I know. What did you think of revisiting Pokemon dragging it out of your memory. Where does it sit? Where with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3 Pokeballs, 3 out of 10 Pokeballs.
Oof.
Well, I mean,
No, that's fair.
If I would just say it's like I don't think I would ever sit down now and play the game or watch the show again, outside of like purely just showing it to my daughter. Like now that she has seen it and she's also seen Pokemon XYZ, there's no way I would like go back to the original.
No, it's definitely not something to revisit anymore. I think it's interesting to have experienced it. I mean, it was the thing of the time. It was the zeitgeist. It's we were going along with the crew. And I'm glad I experienced it, but no, absolutely not. It's weird though. I would go back and play Link, or God, why do I always call it that? Zelda.
Hey,
what?
His name is not Zelda.
That's what I'm saying. I would play Zelda with Link. No, as Link, and I would play that game still probably. I don't know.
Sure.
But no, there's a lot less replayability in that. So I would give, I guess, 4 Master Balls. Yeah.
4 Master Balls. Okay.
Yeah. Not a lot of Master Balls, but I'm happy with it. It was made for me at the time. It's definitely not made for me now. Absolutely.
So you give it 4 Master Balls. I kind of give it like 3 Great Balls.
Okay
Balls. I give it okay balls.
There it is. Still not great scores, but
no, good enough.
It exists and it's fine.
And like anything that we kind of re-examine,
Yeah.
I mean, all these are darlings.
Oh, of course.
Through rose-colored glasses.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Well, cool. And that's it for Pokemon, I guess. Forever and ever.
Pokemon will probably never be seen again.
You'll never hear about.
They're all ghost Pokemon now.
Haunter. Get them out of here. They're in the trash.
Get out of here!
None of you will ever hear about Pokemon again. So there you go.
We covered everything.
Yes, indeed. If you want to contact us with any questions or
break out your Ouija boards and
we are mostly at Out of Memory Pod. We're on Twitter, Instagram. That is our Gmail. If we missed anything or if you want to correct us in a very nerdy way, we would love to hear it because we are nerds as well. Who would correct us if we were listening ourselves. So,
Totally. Tune in next time for bicycles. Do you never forget? Do you?
And also Disneyland, the happiest place on Earth? Right? Yeah.
Tune in for that one. Don't miss it.
It's going to be a great one. All right.
All right. Good night or good morning if you were listening in Japan, or maybe you listened in the morning
or good afternoon. I mean, we completely missed that.
Yes.
Ugh. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Happy February 29th, everybody. It's rare. Enjoy it.